Sheesh. As a romance guy who really loves romance and cares all about that lovey-dovey shit, I have become so desensitized to it. It's become like a bad SNL skit. Skit. You know, I had like multiple crushes and only had like one fulfilling relationship. But I could tell you they're still just as painful and or just as generally hollow. I think like half the crushes I have didn't work out because no one either reciprocated their feelings or they were just dead ass disgusted by me, which I found funny. I mean, it's funny in the I'm laughing, but in reality, I don't want to be crying my eyes out like a little sad boy because, you know, me already being the practical ugly bastard in the real world, I've never been so good with dates or relationships overall. I only had the one relationship, which we're going to get to in a little bit, you know? I only had the one, but then like shit went bad. Everything else has just been loving from afar, or just I want to try and I don't because, you know, I'm scared of being hurt again, or I've been kind of damaged prior. But about that first relationship I had, this was my ex. I remember 6-7 years ago, we became an item. I know it's gonna hit 7 years on December 17th because that's the day it ended. But I remember like 6 years ago, we became a thing. We met up in the gym one time and we talked about anime and stuff and hanged out and talked more. She was one of the few people who really saw past my usual, I guess you could say, quirky, you know, actually it was just Chinibio weird lifestyle and mannerisms, and she got past that and saw me for who I was, which is a rare trait that most people even have anymore when it comes to me, because not a lot of people can really get past my usual like goofy, happy, crackhead, creepy, weird stuff. You know, like my usual buried defenses to keep people at somewhat of a distance, because I'm afraid to let them get close to me to understand me for real, because I haven't exactly worked out before in the past. But she just shot past through it and told me that she felt something for me, and I started to catch feelings too a little bit. You know, we became a thing for about 1.5 years until it all changed. You know, she moved out of the school I was at, heading to Sealy, and I was like, okay, no problem, we can do long distance. I was still very determined because, hell, it's the only girl who wasn't afraid to know me, who wasn't disgusted by me or wasn't repulsive at the thought that I had a heart for them, you know. But as the year went by, she became a lot more cold, a lot more distant, a lot more empty. And I'm over here trying everything, really cutting myself in half just to try to keep her in my life. And then that day happened. December 17th, 2017 was the day it all came to an end. You know? I remember when she gave me like one last text on Instagram saying that she'll no longer talk to me, and then she mass blocked me on everything. And me being scared and confused and lost, I had a really bad mental breakdown, which I never had before, but you could say that was my very first one because I felt really dangerous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna do things to myself that you shouldn't normally never do, if you understand my drift. And I look back on it now and I realize I was ashamed of myself, because if I was feeling about to jump off the edge for a girl like that, for the first girl I had, and that just shows I wasn't really ready for it. That shows that I was too like emotionally vulnerable, weak, compared to what I am now, where I could just brush it off and go on my day. You know? But still talking about the past, I remember like afterwards, I think for like the longest 6 months, I had no word from her. I haven't ever heard from her ever again. Hell, the girl I was in class with, she started dating her because that was her friend and my friend, and she started dating her on the slide. And truth behold, she was actually seeing her behind while we were dating, and that was a real knife to the heart. I wasn't on a good spiral list. I lost a lot of weight in those 6 months. I just completely stopped eating entirely because I just felt so sick to my stomach. And that and people who told me about her just couldn't stop telling me how open her sex life was. It's like, oh yeah, I saw her just throwing down the other day. I'm like, please stop. This confidence you're trying to build me, it's not working. Because deep down for me, for most normal guys, they will show hatred, pettiness. They will show some level of addictiveness, but for me, I can't. I was never born that way. I was never born to show deep, realistic hate or such anger, I guess you could say I was the more submissive of my life. If it was in a relationship, for example, I'm most likely to be the kinding, parental figure, the more submissive one. Because it's just I don't really show anger unless I'm really pushed over the edge, the brink, and then you get what you pay for. Other than that, I'm just the sweet guy. I go out and help people I don't even know, people who could care if I fall into a wood chipper. I go help them. I waste my time and my energy making sure everyone is mentally, spiritually, and even sexually satisfied before I could go do my thing, But I remember after that point that I was talking to her friends, because her friends were my friends, and I remember they threatened me at some point because the girl who was dating my ex was saying that I was using her to get to my ex, and then they thought of me as being some monster, thinking of me as if I was just using her. And I told them no, I never had any intentions of using her to get to my ex. Why would I try so hard to someone who threw me away literally less than a week before Christmas? Why would I try so hard for that? Why would I go the extra mile? For what? She already gave me closure. She already called me a leech who sapped her dry, and she felt free of the fact that she threw me away like garbage, like a used towel. Why would I even go for someone who just saw me as nothing more than just a stepping stone for her? Why would I even do anything? But they never understood me. I remember they threatened to kill me at one point. They were going to slit my throat ear to ear just to get a point across. And at that point, I was feeling like I was hitting the brink again. I was about to fall off once more. Not in the hurt myself way, but hurt them way. Because truth be told, when I fall off the edge, I usually get violent. I won't do anything. I'm a dog. I'm all bark but no bite. I even told him out of spite. It's if you're gonna kill me, make it quick. If not, then I hope you got your last rites in place. Because no one could kill me. If not, you'll fail before you can do it. I'd love to see you try to do it. You're gonna kill me over some girl, over some friendship? I was your friend at one point. I have done nothing. I have given my ex everything but the goddamn shirt off my back. I have given her the world and back. I betrayed my own friends for her. At the time they weren't really my friends. They were just people who talked and hang out. But that's how it was. And I lost everybody in an instant. I remember at that point I lost everyone. My ex, my friend who was cheating on me with my ex. Her friends who used to be my friends. All barring her cousin who cared, which was nice. And I think at that point, I was scared of being back into relationships. I was too terrified to get back in, to get hurt again, to be treated like a used piece of meat and thrown away when my usefulness ran out. It scared me. It damaged me. Because I always felt like I was always incomplete, as if my life never mattered, as if my romantic feelings never mattered. I spent from then to now, always just wishing and begging and praying to be in a relationship again, to find that love again, to feel that warmth like I used to. But I'm so terrified of it, deathly terrified about it. It's like the empty hole in my heart aches, but yet it's terrified to embrace any new feelings that came out of it. That's why from that point all I had was just crushes. That was it. Just cute little crushes that sometimes may or may not became serious, but ultimately, fizzled out the moment I wanted to be a man and say anything. Because, again, my ex damaged me pretty good, and even before her, I was treated like some sort of psycho patient. My school reputation wasn't good. Everyone saw me as, pun not intended, but the school shooter archetype. Everyone thought I was just one bad joke or one bad conflict away from bringing M4 to the local high school and start unloading clip in the classroom. And that joke's kind of fucked up. Saying that is fucked up. But that's how people saw me. People were scared of me, or disgusted by me, or didn't want nothing to do with me. As if I was carrying Chernobyl, as if I was Quasimodo. And it made me feel ostracized, alone. I felt like I was nothing. The only good friend I had was he moved away to get away from the bullshit. So I didn't really have anyone in school. I was definitively alone for pretty much most of it. It felt so isolating. It felt so heavy. Ironically, it was like a toxic relationship because I wanted to get back there as soon as possible. Because I wanted to feel like I could be something. I feel like I could just pretend and put on a mask, a persona to live by. Which kind of did happen, for real. I did grew a persona during school. Because home, I was just quiet and miserable. I was just, reveling in the suffering. Hiding my pain. Never telling to anybody, because not like everyone in school went out their way to save their life just to make sure I was okay. But in school, I was happy. I was preppy. I was quirky and weird. I was always the helpful, kind, mild-mannered guy. Who was vulgar, but who knew whose place was good. Whose heart was in the right place. It was a persona I lived by. It was pretty much the person I wish I could have been. Hell, it kind of overridden my character for a bit. When I got home, it was always the same thing. And I realized this wasn't me. This person I try to be, I'm just simply not. I'm generally a broken person, and romantically and somewhat emotionally. But I always find it hard to express my emotions without being labeled as some problem or see myself as an inconvenience. Because let me tell you, that during school was not the best times. Because I could tell you about that, furthermore in school lore. Whenever I had a problem or I was emotionally vulnerable for a second, nobody had no time for me. I was an inconvenience. I was just merely a problem that everyone had to put their shit down to deal with and make sure I was cared for. You know how much that makes me feel? It made me feel like I was trash. It made me feel like I didn't matter until my shit was taken care of, and then they could go back to making sure they could beg me and ask me for shit and make sure I'm the good little lapdog and make sure I got my little validation. And it's just like, how about you could just express humanity for me? How about you could just show me that you give a damn about my life? How about you could show that you care beyond what I have and what I could just entertain you with? Because that's all I'm ever here for, and you don't really need me at all. Well, then again, it was true because, let's be honest, in my group, I was the backup friend. And you don't know what a backup friend is. It was just basically people. I'm the bottom of the barrel. I'm the last option you ever go to when all your good friends are not around. And that's what my role was in the group. I never saw myself, or I never had been seen as a real friend in the group. At least that's how my perspective was. And this sparked because I had a person recently in my life texted 2 of my closest friends saying that he hates me, that he has no friends because of me, and among other things. And that honestly brings out a lot of similarities. I had another friend who said they had no friends because of me. I had people in my life recently who regretted ever meeting me, who just downright despised my existence, who outright spit in my direction, who wouldn't even do that, who wouldn't offer me that kind of disrespect because I'm just not good enough for it. And it breaks my heart a lot because I always try to be, cringily as this is, the guardian angel, the hero of the story. And I don't have no hero complex. I'm just the guy who just loves helping people. I just want to help people to give the kindness I wish I could be seeing myself. But I guess that was too much of a tall order to ask sometimes. Because no matter how much I did, no matter how much I sacrificed, no matter how much I made a fool of myself, how much I tore myself apart physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I still got treated as if I was a class clown, as if I was just disposable, as if I was like a second class citizen among my own peers. And it wasn't like, it was worse because I was a double flunky. You know, I failed the 1st and 4th grade. I know, how could I do that? It's not possible. But I did. Even my own classes above me, my original people treated me like I was disposable, like as if I was disgusting, as if I was a peasant beneath them. And they were the same people I grew up with, I hanged out with, I became friends with. I was tossed away like some ruffian, like some piece of shit. That I was the literal embodiment of BTS FTW. Born to shit, forced to wipe. It was just a lot of just pain. And like after high school, after school overall, it feels hollow. It rings out with emptiness and it shows. Barring at least 5 friends, 5 to 6 people in my life, who I'm more or less on talking grounds with, except for like one guy who's like friends with me to the end, is just shaky at best. It's just a hollow, lonely experience. I go back to my yearbook and see the people I used to talk to. I shed tears for them because I miss them. It's like an abusive relationship. As much as I was getting treated like shit, I just could not say that I do not miss it. I can't say that, oh, I was better off without them. In reality, I needed them. Because at least me acting like a fool, an errand boy, a pack mule, a clown, a complete target practice, at least gave me acknowledgement. At least gave me existence. At least let me feel like I was a human for once. Because going back home, I was alone. I had my family there, yeah, but I needed other people. I need people I called my friends to make sure I was still okay. Make sure I didn't, run and snap my neck somewhere. You know? It gave me that feel that at least somebody outside my family gives a damn, cares. But I guess it kind of shows the fact that now we have people who come and go. You know, and even then I still carry the highest self-doubt of my character. I think that, to be honest, I'm weighing everyone down. The people I still have in my life, I'm only holding them back. That's why I don't try to talk to them as much as I used to anymore. I feel like I'm a weight to them, and they could do so much more without me constantly bothering them, joking with them, laughing with them, feeling something with them. I feel like they're better off without me in their lives, just consuming them with my usual nautical bullshit and pointless topics. Even my own closest friend, I think, could do better without me. I know he can. I'm confident he can. He's the best. And I'm just honestly just slowing everyone down. It's one of those, I guess I'm better off alone in these kind of cases. At least then I don't have to dump my problems on them or make them pretend they have to care. You know? It's not their fault, it's a me thing. Women stuck to this mindset you kind of just believe and think anything you want to believe at this point. But I just wanted to get this off my chest, you know? I just wanted to expose myself or just talk about the past a bit more. I know that most people don't really care about the people behind the screens, behind the persona, the mascot, the channel. But I guess I grew comfortable to at least talk about it more. At least be honest and be open about my feelings and my thought process and what I be thinking about. If you guys like it, you know, if you guys find it cool or you find something interesting or anything, you know, pointless shill, but like, sub, whatever you think, I don't know, feed the algorithm, whatever it is. Because from this point going forward, I'm just going to be making videos that I want to make. I'm no longer going to be putting myself on a deadline. I'm no longer going to keep forcing myself to slave away for nothing and overthink and fry myself out on content I didn't want to make to begin with. I'm not gonna force myself to make videos just because I had to keep the channel from gathering dust. I'm gonna make videos for me, and if they're on here, they're on here, and they're made from me with 100% heart and soul, not because I was just some corporal shill who wanted to hit 1,000 subs so I'll get a real job. But that's gonna be it for today. The moral of the story is, there's always a better tomorrow. As long as you can wake up to see the sunrise, I guess that's all that matters. Well, that, and it's still NTR November, so there's always a brighter side the next day. Am I right, fellas? But that's gonna be it for today. I have been your lovely host of the most, and if you wish to know more about me, please leave a comment. I'm more than happy to answer just about anything you guys throw out. But that's gonna be it. Until next time, I bid you adieu.